Welcome to today's Thursday video. Today, I'm showcasing the ancient ruins of Durak. Ah, I see that you're finally awake. You've journeyed through mountains, far from the civilized, through valleys, along the tree lines. We swam through rivers together. But now, we are nearly there. It isn't far. If you look around you, you may start noticing the shattered remnants of the past. This used to be a lush valley, where the Durak built one of their many tower cities. Tall buildings, so they wouldn't take the space away from the fertile farmland. Now they are what remains, volcanic monoliths, forgotten, hiding secrets. For us, my friend, to finally unlock. Stare at them. Look at them. Take in their beauty. It's as if nothing could touch them, yet time has touched them. Maybe we will find our secret. I decided, why not mine some of this rock? Might as well take shards back to our libraries, and maybe with it, we can unlock the secrets of these monoliths. But what is this? The monoliths contain obsidian. Could it be? Are these the rumored portals of old? So for this terrain, I wanted to create a few dune fields that overlap, and with a range of mountains typically found in the desert with some terracing. And the hardest part really was creating these dunes. There were a lot of attempts, first with the macro dune field that I had already downloaded, but in the end that didn't really work out, mainly because the size of the dunes were so large. I couldn't figure out how to make them smaller. The mountains though, they worked quite well in this case. I didn't have too many issues. Then with the erosion and the thermal erosion, I used some height selectors to try to get different heights, as well as with the colors, the different slopes of the dunes themselves. Although in coloring, in the end, I did remove a lot of that coloring to substitute just into granite, terracotta, sandstone, and sand, just because it worked a lot better. It gave that really nice contrast between the orange and the yellow, or the more white sands. For the dunes that did work, I got them from a video that I will link below. They were made using different gradients and cutting them and spacing them out, then lowering them down with a rescale, and then expanding them so they would curve. And what I did is I created two different dune fields with that technique, where I would overlay them so that I would have a few small dunes as well as some large ones, just to give that bit of contrast and not make everything feel too similar. And of course then I had to put all that back into the color nodes, the erosion, where I didn't actually erode the dune fields themselves, I only eroded the mountains. There was a lot of messing around in this case. A lot with the dunes, a lot with the shape of the mountains that I wanted, as I wanted the cinematic to come in and have that gradual progression of smaller things and then the mountains in the background as a backdrop, with the larger pillars of the ancient city of Durak coming in. The pillars that I used I made with black stone, filling it up, increasing the height of it with the inset of one block each. I created 3 different types, so one large one, one medium and one small, as well as 3 tiny rocks that I would place around the landscape later. The larger pillar I then rotated in many different ways, since World Painter then rotates it for you again in randomness. So I just made 7 different variations, and then for the medium pillar I made 5 variations, and the small one I left as is, as well as the rocks. Importing these then into World Painter, I made sure that they were sitting way below the surface level, so that even the bigger ones that were at an angle would really be flush with the terrain rather than hovering above it. For the placement, I then again put the taller pillars at the back and the rocks and smaller pillars at the front. It's always amazing what trees can do to a terrain. In this case, I created 2 trees that I would just cover the terrain with, creating a lush forest. You don't really need any special trees for this. You just need 2 or 3 trees that you can paste everywhere and it will look like a forest. In this case, I used acacia trees, or a modification of which I then put at Y level 50 everywhere on the terrain, but just on sand, so it wouldn't be too much of a cliffy stage, so that it wouldn't just fall off the cliff, which you can see in some areas of the build. And this is the final build. You can sometimes see some trees on the edge, you can see the pillars in the background. And that's how I created this desert terrain in around 3 days. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you want to see any more, if you want me to slow some footage down or maybe even live stream, just let me know. I can try and put all this out in a nicer format. Thank you for watching. See you next Thursday.